of whether I wanted to come back into my body or continue onward into death. I started to become aware that it wasn't my time. I felt it was my father that was communicating this to me. And then I started to become aware that it wasn't my time and I had the choice. But I didn't want to come back. I didn't want to come back into my body because my body was dying of cancer. So there was no way that I wanted to come back. I didn't even see any reason or any point to come back into this body. But then my awareness started to continue to expand even further. And I started to become aware that I was actually an amazing, magnificent being, and I'd never been aware of this before. I became aware that my consciousness actually was huge. It was as though my consciousness had expanded and it became everything. The interesting thing about that realm is time was very different. So when I retell what happened, there's no words to quite explain it, because it seemed as though everything was happening at once. When I retell the story, I have to figure out in what sequence to put these things, because it's my mind that creates the sequence. But when it was actually happening, it was as though everything was happening all at the same time. And as I became aware that that my consciousness was expanded to everything, I could feel, it was as though I became everything. I could feel, for example, the emotions of everybody that was around my body. I could feel the emotions of my mother, my husband, my brother who had just arrived in India. It was as though I became them. I could feel their emotions. I could feel the emotions of the doctor. Each time my emotions would get drawn into what was happening to my body and what was happening there, I would then feel simultaneously as though I was being drawn, pushed away, pulled away as well at the same time. And I was being pulled away, and then an awareness would come over me that everything is still perfect. No matter what happens, whether I die or whether I come back to life, in the greater tapestry, everything is still perfect. It's still going according to plan. And then I started to become aware that it wasn't actually my time, and I still had things to do. I had a purpose, and I became aware that my husband's purpose was linked to mine, and I hadn't finished my purpose on earth, and I should come back. And I felt a calling that perhaps I should come back, but I still felt that I didn't want, or how could I even serve a purpose when my body was so sick? And then I started to become aware that now that I know the truth about who I really am, about the magnificence of my soul, and about the capacity of what we really are capable of, that now that I knew this, if I went into my body and chose to express myself again through my body, the cancer would heal.